This is Meteo Mundo.
Hi everyone, Rusty back here with your latest Meteo Mundo video. Thank you so much for tuning in. The weekend is here, friends, so we'll talk about the chance for rain across the Caribbean and the Bahamas in this video, and we're also going to take a look at the tropical development potential over the next week as well, and all eyes are still going to be on the eastern Atlantic. We still have Tropical Storm Sean, and now we have a cherry, friends, a red area from the Hurricane Center, a high chance of development in the southern Atlantic early to mid next week. We'll more than likely have at least our next tropical depression. But let's get into the story. I want to start you off right now with what's happening with Sean. Sean is hanging on by a thread right now. It's still a very weak tropical storm. Winds are 40 miles an hour. Sean, again, will continue to basically stay a very minimal tropical storm, more than likely becoming a tropical depression by Saturday morning, and then by the end of the weekend, fizzling out to becoming nothing but post-tropical. Again, I was never concerned about the track for Sean. This is going to stay in the open waters of the southern Atlantic, and one reason why Sean is going to die very quickly here is look at all of this drier air on our water vapor energy. Sean is just moving into a very unfavorable area of the Atlantic. There's some wind shear associated with some of this activity you see to the north. So between the dry air and the shear, Sean is going to be done very quickly, and we can say goodbye to that one. Now, that's not going to be the case for this disturbance. This is something that I'll be watching for you all week long. This disturbance still is very disorganized, but conditions appear favorable as it tracks basically due west, a very low latitude storm, meaning it's not going to be trying to recurve to the north at least anytime soon. When I extend this view out, and again, our spaghetti plot models are running on this disturbance, you can see again, it's basically a due west track. Now, it is in the far eastern Atlantic, but again, on this potential track, and if it stays that low latitude, of course, the windward and the leeward islands would come into play if this were to develop and stay on that track. But we have plenty of times to monitor, friends. Again, even over the next 7 days, this would be east of places like Trinidad and Tobago and Martinique. So we have plenty of time to monitor the situation of that disturbance. I can show you the GFS model for us here, and this is a very long-range model. I'm going to run it over the next 10 days. And I got to tell you something, this is something that you're going to see here only in Meteo Mundo. We invest a lot of money and resources into this kind of product and the data associated with it. So I can actually extend this GFS model out 10 days or even longer. We'll just take a look at what this model is showing. Again, it's not extremely skillful with a system that hasn't developed yet, but they are getting better and better, especially with the tracks of tropical systems. That's one thing it's become much more accurate on. And I just want you to notice, at least on the GFS model, it shows a lot of moisture associated with that disturbance in the southern Atlantic, but then it does begin to recurve it north, a little bit east of the islands. Again, it's an initial solution. This is only for informational purposes only, but we'll just have to see if this can hold together as we get a week out or so. Do we start to see a recurve north of whatever is out there? Again, certainly too early to tell, but if you live in the Windward and Leeward Islands, I got you covered. We'll be monitoring the situation here for you every day. Let's talk about the chance for rain across the Caribbean and the Bahamas, and the Bahamas is where we will start. If you give me just 1 second, I'm going to switch up our model here to a more short-term model, and we'll take a look at the chance for rain over the weekend. Now, we had all of those really nasty storms in the Florida Peninsula. We're beginning to see some of that moisture drop off to the south, and for places like Freeport and Marsh Harbor and Nassau, a pretty good chance for showers late Friday and into Saturday. That moisture will then move off towards the south and get into a little bit drier air. It's going to be beautiful early next week when we pick up a north wind. Again, I do a much more detailed forecast on the Bahamas in a separate video. If you're looking for that, after this video, go to the homepage and you'll find it. Looking good for the Turks and Caicos as well as we get far enough south, not expecting a lot of rain. Moving on over towards Santo Domingo and Port-au-Prince there in Haiti and the Dominican Republic respectively. I do expect some showers to develop mainly in the higher terrain of the island with not a lot of showers for coastal areas like Santo Domingo and Port-au-Prince, and it's going to be really hot as well. Port-au-Prince highs will be running in the upper 90s with feels like temperatures at least at 105, but again, at least a couple of showers there. There's not going to be a lot of rain for Puerto Rico, for Arecibo and Ponce and San Juan. A brief passing shower is possible. It's the same scenario for our friends in the British and U.S. Virgin Islands, St. Croix, St. Thomas. We're looking at really isolated rain chances. And again, I also do a separate video, more detailed, for the Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, and the Virgin Islands. So if you want a more detailed forecast on that, Again, check it out here at Meteo Mundo. Looking for our friends in the Leeward Islands from Anguilla all the way down towards Dominica. Again, a spotty shower, but there's no tropical waves coming in. There's not a lot of organized moisture. So these are more localized showers and a rumble of thunder possible for places like St. Kitts and Nevis. Certainly going to be hot. Martinique the same way. We get down towards Trinidad and Tobago, maybe a slightly better chance for rain, but again, even on this model, there's not a light there. Let's go on over to Aruba and Curacao and Bonaire. Again, a little bit of shower activity is possible, but many dry hours and locations over the weekend. Again, this model is running right on through the weekend time frame, and you just don't see a lot of showers popping up, so enjoy it there. Now we switch over to our friends in Jamaica. It has been dry and extremely hot the last several days. I don't expect a lot more rain. We might have a few showers developing on the western hillier sides of the island. Kingston looks to remain mainly dry. That will change early next week. And again, I do a detailed forecast in a separate video for Jamaica. So if you're looking for that Jamaican forecast, again, head on over to our Meteo Mundo homepage. And we'll end it with our friends in the Cayman Islands from Georgetown towards West End. A little bit more moisture coming into play late in the weekend, so at least a few spotty showers in the Cayman Islands, especially on Sunday. So let's take a look at the rain chance in your area for the Turks and Caicos. Just a couple of spotty showers over the weekend. Mainly dry for the U.S. and British Virgin Islands on Saturday, and a brief isolated shower possible for your Sunday. Same thing for our friends in Martinique. Again, Trinidad and Tobago, maybe a 30% chance. Aruba, low in chance over the weekend. And the highest I have for these areas are going to be our friends in the Cayman Islands, a 30% chance for a shower storm on Saturday, up to a 40% chance on your Sunday. Friends, I hope you have a great weekend. Thank you for tuning in. I'd love to hear where you're viewing us from. Drop that in the comment below. And you want to help out the channel, we certainly appreciate that. Subscribe, first of all, to get all the latest forecasts in your area, and like our videos as well. Thank you so much for tuning in to Meteo Mundo.